Hello and welcome to this edition of Grimm Media News. I'm your host, Steve Stone. Let's get right into it. Yesterday, we did have 3 more arrests in the case involving Will Polk and April Jones. 3 more people charged, which this means a total of 5 charged with the murders of Will and April. So let's knock it out real quick. So we know Haley Pierce and Dale Gann. They were charged a couple of weeks ago. Added to that list, Keith Coleman Jr., a.k.a. K2. He was out on the lam, as you well know, a couple of weeks ago. He was allowed to escape from Quitman County custody. He was later apprehended just right into the Arkansas state line. He is now being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the death of Will Polk and April Jones. Another suspect arrested and charged is Desmond Green. And then at the very bottom there, Jamie Tubbs, also charged in the deaths of Will Polk and April Jones. It has also been reported that a skull and a pair of hands were found on a piece of property. Those remains have been sent off for testing. We don't know who's they belong to. That's going to be up to the state lab to figure out. So when that information comes available, we will let you know. The issue with this case is simple. Will Polk and April Jones were murdered by a bunch of animals, and if it sounds biased, so be it. These suspects are just animals for what they did. There was no reason for Will and April to be murdered and done what happened to them. It's just the kind of stuff the evil you hear about, and it doesn't make any sense. And to speak on that further, it's been said that other people, other co-conspirators might be involved in disseminating information, cooperating with law enforcement, and giving them the news of where possibly remains are found, or the events that transpired that led to Will and April's death, and they might have cut deal. Listen, I think anybody that had anything to do with the death of Will Polk and April Jones should be incarcerated, period. A deal, maybe, if I were to make a deal, maybe they wouldn't get the death penalty or something like that. But they all need to go to prison. They need to be taken off the streets, because if they were involved in this, they could be involved in something else. And again, these 2 beautiful people, no matter what their issues in life were, did not deserve to what happened to them by these animals who deserve, in my opinion, to spend the rest of their lives not in the jail, but under the jail. And, you know, I think it's terrible for Will Polk's family and April's family. I think it's terrible. And this is not the end of this for them. They've got to go to court. There's going to be 5 different trials. There might be more. And they have to go through this. And make no mistake that this is just the beginning for this family. Again, they're transforming. This was a missing case to now it's a homicide case, and justice for Will and April need to be swift, and it needs to be severe. So, again, if there's any more updates on Will and April's case, again, you'll hear it here on the Grimm Street Podcast YouTube channel. The next case I want to discuss is that of Rob Cox. So, the family came to me a week and a half ago, and Rob Cox was murdered. He was helping his stepdaughter buy a car, and this was in Houston, Mississippi. They called me, and I decided that I would definitely help them. I never turn a family down, and we started looking into Rob's case. And as we did, as fate would have it, these individuals were arrested and charged with the murder of Rob Cox. We posted his flyer on the the Grim Truth podcast Facebook page. And if anybody had seen it, and it was shared quite a bit, we just wanted to give an update to those that had seen it. Rob was loved by his family. He had children, and he was murdered senselessly, no reason for it whatsoever. And these three individuals have been arrested and charged in his murder as well. And, we just wanted to let the family know we appreciate them reaching out to us. Our thoughts and prayers go with you, and thank you for reaching out to me as we got started and this happened. And we're glad that a resolution in Rob's case has finally taken hold, and we're glad and thankful. Lastly, today, Cody Lawson, his family had reached out to us also last week, and we had this flyer up on the Grim Truth Podcast Facebook page, and we were digging into his case as well. We are happy to report that Cody did contact his family, and he is safe, and so that's a great story, that a person who was missing, that nobody knew where he was, has contacted his family, and that's just a great story. So we wanted to update you all on that, because we did post his flyer on our Facebook page and wanted to let everybody know that he is safe, and that the family has spoken with him. And that's all you can hope for in cases like this. What every family of the missing dreams of is getting that call or getting those answers that we need. So just as we hear about all the missing, we also want to share the good news as well. So we're glad that Cody's family reached out to us, and we were glad to share his flyer, and we're thankful that they know where Cody is. That's going to do it for this episode of Grimm Media News. Remember, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the Grim Truth Podcast YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of the Weekly Remind Show or Grimm Media News. Any news, stories related to the missing, we are the media for the missing. God bless.